Thank you very much for accepting this long, supposed to be done interview, and not an interview, let's call it a podcast. That's it's supposed to be called. The reason why I wanted you to be on my podcast is I have no idea about ice baths. I heard a lot. It's a very trending topic, and I've heard a lot from my client, Rebecca, about you. And she always told me, I've done this ice bath. I went to Benoit. You should try it. And I was like, I'm not going to try it unless I understand in theory what it is. So I'm having you today to explain to me, just like I am to the audience who's watching this, who don't know anything at all about ice bath. First of all, you can have your introduction about who you are and how you started this whole thing, and then we can dive into the details.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
First of all. Thank you, Rebecca.
Yes.
It's amazing. What do we do? Yeah, I'm probably known mainly as the guy who puts people in the ice bath, but we do many more things than that.
Yeah.
I started that basically during COVID.
Okay.
I did my first ice bath on the 31st of January 2020.
Okay.
With a Wim Hof instructor here in Dubai, and then I was supposed to go to the Wim Hof retreat in Poland, and it got cancelled because of COVID. So we developed something similar in the meantime, but don't just do the ice bath. What we do is basically taking people out of their comfort zone.
Okay.
And most people come for the ice bath, but we do breathing exercises where people start feeling differently. It's also a trendy thing, the breathing.
Yes.
We've seen now tennis player taping their mouth just last week. Swiatek, the number one lady in the world, she was seen with a taped mouth.
To force her to breathe from the nose.
To breathe, from the nose, which we are supposed to do all the time.
Yes.
We put people in sauna, so 100 degrees, and then in the ice. We help people to do prolonged fasting.
Okay.
With detox around it. Dry fast as well, so like 2-3 days of no
Dry
food
fast.
and no water. We're going to launch the fire walk in October.
That, yes.
Yeah. So it's all taking the people out of their comfort zone. And what does it do?
Yes.
We have all these limiting beliefs, you know?
Yes.
I cannot do this.
Yes.
Or no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
It's a typical reaction of a lot of things, you know? Not only in sport, but in at school, on a daily basis.
Absolutely, yes.
And the moment you push that limit over what your belief is, so your limiting belief, you push that to the level, it triggers something in you.
Yes.
And it very often not related to anything else you have limiting beliefs in your life. But when you train your mental to accept that maybe it is possible, and you train that, David Goggins is an example, you know, like when he starts counting when it hurts.
Yes.
Muhammad Ali had the same thing. Sure. So those people are extraordinary people because they have changed their mindset. I'm convinced today, after those 3 years of experiences for myself in different things, our mind is weak, but the body is strong.
True.
So I'm basically coaching people to go through that mind-changing experience.
With the facilities that you use, like ice, firewalk, and fasting.
And some have health benefits.
Yes.
You know, sauna has health benefits. Ice water has health benefits. The sadhu board, the nail board, has health benefits. The most brutal one I've done is, for me personally, because I have a phobia of needle, is put a needle through my hand. It has absolutely no health benefits.
Yeah.
But it's just to train your mental state that, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And then you do it. So it was an amazing experience. If you allow me just to explain that, you poke a quite thick needle. It's not like one you take blood from, and which is sharp. It's not very sharp, but it's sharp enough so it goes in. We did that in an exercise in a group of 17 people, and then you start going through it, and you think you're already through it, but you're not. And then the guy who coaches the group, I had like an experience of he said, and now when it comes out on the other side, it will hurt again. And then you feel that it hurts, you know, the needle comes like slightly out and you feel the pain. Wow. And then he says, that's exactly what I remember. He said, you know, it's like in life, you start a lot of things, like you go through it, but how many times you haven't finished your thing and you put it on the side. I had like 15 things passing through my mind, you know, like tick, 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 all these things I haven't done. And he said, this is just like a metaphor of your life, you know. Now you can decide if you want to go, you go through it, have that final pain and achieve what you wanted to achieve, or you leave it there. Then that motivated me. So I pushed through it, and then the needle came out on the other side, and then I had to take it out afterwards, which was actually more painful than that.
This is so deep. I mean, what you're explaining is really, really deep, and I can relate into so many ways because of the topics that I talk about, the mindset. I mean, you're drifting me away.
Sorry, bring me back.
No. But I love this. I love this because what you're explaining and what you're saying is entirely related to what I present on my as myself, not just fitness, not just diet and mindset. Because you're talking about things related to the mindset and how you're pushing yourself through pain, which you already started and you're into it. So you either complete and go through and enjoy the reward of you succeeding and passing through that phase, or you're just going to surrender and go out and leave a scar that you wish one day you completed, and it's still going to be painful. Even I think the pain will be even more mentally.
You know, the regret that you didn't push through at that time. Like it's such a metaphor. You know, like it's so strong. And all the feeling I had, you know, the start. You know, even physically. You know, because I have a phobia of needles. So I found myself that this one, which was holding the needle, was full straight. I said, I must be through. Then I opened my eyes. But the other arm was longer, you know, like. So I put it back. I said, "This one is not moving anymore," you know, like.
Interesting. This is something probably too extreme. Maybe something people would not really use. I want to go back and I want you to take me through the benefits of the ice bath, and you opened up another subject which was not related, and I have. No clue about is the sauna. Health benefits of sauna. I have done what you just explained is the sauna for a few minutes. I think it was 75 degrees. I can't remember whether it was 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And then I remember when the door was opened, outside there was a 1 meter pool, I think with 0 degree temperature, 2 meters depth. You just dip and go out. The feeling that I had after this is still in my mind, and how much energetic I was after I was exhausted by playing football it was a football game and that we played for probably an hour and a half. I was entirely exhausted. My body was exhausted. I felt like I was a newborn baby and did not do anything after that feeling. So I want you to explain to me this benefits of these two things, the ice bath and the sauna. Let's start with the sauna.
So the sauna is a very old traditional thing. I think the Japanese do those warm baths, you know. You have the Native Americans, they have this hot hut. It's like a hut and they put hot stones in it. Some are very spiritual procedures, but I think the sauna which we use was widely used in the world today is the Nordic sauna. So you just increase the temperature to about 100 degrees. Totally dry.
Wow.
In Russia they use some leaves to increase the blood flow on the surface of your thing. In Finland they use eucalyptus for the smell and your nose for the respiratory things. But the biggest organ we have is the skin. Right? And you bring it to an extreme where you can't stay there forever. But it's like it's basically a HIIT training, a high intensive interval training for your skin. So you bring it to the limit of it's not burning. You don't damage, but it opens all the pores and the sweat comes out, which is a detoxification of your body, because I think you detox more through the skin than through the kidneys. I'm not sure. So you do that on a very extreme level, and what happens internally, your arteries dilate. So they become bigger.
Bigger and wider.
Because they try to cool down your body, which is too hot.
Yes.
Okay, and then you get out of that situation, and you go into the other extreme, into the cold.
Yes.
And which closes the arteries.
Yes.
Closes the pores, and does the counter effect. There is some very credible research that if you do sauna and ice baths once or twice a week, the risk of having a stroke or a heart attack is reduced by 40%. You create serotonin on the heat. You create dopamine on the cold.
Wow.
So it's a lot of hormonal things as well, and that's why you feel normally quite energetic after you.
Are there people that are not allowed to do this kind of technique to go into, like, are there limitations of people going into the sauna and taking this dip, or in general just the sauna?
So the sauna increases your heartbeat. If you have some heart problems, you should probably be careful not to stay too long. Again, if you go for 10 seconds, I'm sure it's not dangerous. If you go for 1 or 2 minutes, very unlikely it's dangerous. But it's probably also, if you do that for the first time, listen to your body.
Yeah.
You know, when you feel a bit uncomfortable, go out and then say, oh, and then push it a little bit further. The ice on the other side doesn't really have any. If you have heart problems, we had people who came out of a heart attack like 3 months before. And with the negative support of the wife next, don't do it.
Yeah.
And he went in and he said, I feel so alive.
Wow.
So, because it reduces your heartbeat, it calms you down. Not initially. Initially, it's a bit of a stress.
Yeah.
But when you pass those 15 to 25 seconds, it becomes like people almost fall asleep in the ice and relax.
Interesting.
Yeah, very, very distressing.
Interesting. I mean, I know we agreed that tomorrow morning I'm going to do the very first, trust me, this is the very first ice bath that I've done in my entire life. What do you advise people like me who are going to do this? Like, what are your instructions, or what are the instructions that I and them have to follow before taking this experience, this new challenge? Are there any guidelines that you use? Like, are you going to talk me to it? Is there something that you're going to tell me? This is what you need to do. Avoid doing this, doing that.
So tomorrow morning you will come and we will do 1 or 2 exercises, which is all breathing related.
Okay.
So, and then we will do a breathing session, okay, which is an intensive breathing in and out with breath hold to change your body, become a little bit more alkaline. So very relaxed, and some people create a little bit of DMT. So you're like super chilled, okay? And then you will go in front of the ice bucket, and we will tell you how you need to breathe in the ice, which is slightly different. Typically, when you go in the ice, if you don't know what to do, you will get into flight-fight breathing. So it's going to be
yes,
which I used to do when I went in 20 degrees water, you know, like in Switzerland, in the lake in Zurich, where I used to live. In summer, when it's 20 degrees, you go, and then it's hard to breathe, and then you relax, and then it's okay.
Yes.
But tomorrow you will go into around 0-1 degree water.
Okay. And
it's ice cubes around and all that. So typically you look like a pretty calm person. So you're probably going to be very easy to follow instructions of how to breathe in there. So we basically manipulate the brain and do that when you go in cold water before we go in.
Okay. So we practice before.
Yeah. We practice, and then you go in, and then you breathe out very slowly. Mm-hmm. The only thing you might have a problem is you are a bit of a control freak.
I am.
You are, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You noticed this in me? Are you telling me? Or?
Yeah. I think you like to control situations. That's why you want to know exactly what is going to happen tomorrow.
To be honest with you, not me.
Okay.
I'm doing this control situation or knowing what to do prior for the people who are like this. But if I wasn't recording and if I wasn't wanting to put this out on social media and just for me to do it without any cameras, without any people watching on social media, I will come to you. Let's go and do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You just tell me whatever it is. But because I'm doing this explanation for other people and to know as well for myself, I mean, since I'm doing it, why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, in this regards, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I interpreted that through the questions you're asking and other things, but that's not you, it's your podcast.
It's a podcast,
Okay.
The mask, the character I developed, yeah.
Fair enough. So when you go into the ice, the body experiences something he's never had before.
Yeah.
So people want to go into fight mode.
Yeah.
And if you start breathing like that, people last 15, 20 seconds max. You need to control your breathing and breathe out as long and smooth as possible.
Yeah.
So you take in, you hold, and you focus on breathing out very slowly, and it calms you down. Your heartbeat goes down, and then after 3 breaths, you smile, we take a picture. It's pretty easy.
Yes.
It's pretty easy.
Yes.
But when you are in front of that bucket and you have no idea what's going to happen, your heartbeat just goes up.
Yes.
Tuck, 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 it's similar than if somebody who has never spoken in public.
In public, yes. I was
in
just
front
about
of
to bring
200
that.
people.
Yeah.
And the heart goes, your mouth becomes dry.
Yeah.
You know, all these things, and you don't know how to control it. So what we do is, because your mind learns very quickly, and when you find yourself in a similar situation, you are in a meeting.
Yeah. And your heartbeat goes up and
and you're getting somebody said something to you and you feel offended, etc. There are similar situations.
Absolutely.
And when you train that by doing something completely different, but you train your mind to be calm, you know, you have those techniques of counting to 10, or take 2 long breaths. That helps. But when you have been in the ice bath, apparently is one of the most stressful situations you can put a human being in. And if you have gone through extreme, half of it becomes like very manageable.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, these situations that I definitely have been through. My very first public speech was in front of, I believe, more than 200 people, and most of them were officials in my home country. It was few days when I just started working in a company, and my senior told me to prepare a presentation for him, and then he just tricked me and told me, like, okay, it's you who is going to present. So I was having that panic, and I remember that moment. So, and I remember these different moments on the different occasion. Every time I start something new, my heartbeat goes up and down, and I try to control myself. But what I've learned how to control, and exactly what you just explained, is when I'm working out with heavy weights, in between the sets, my heart jumps too high. And I try to cool myself down by taking this exact technique that you mentioned, is like by inhaling and holding it for a few seconds and then just breathing out a little bit. And I have my Apple Watch too.
And it
goes down
so
like,
quickly.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of the flight-fight breathing.
Yeah.
You know, you do shallow, short, fast.
Yes.
And your heartbeat goes up. Yeah. Because you cannot say, I want my heartbeat now to go down.
No.
You need something to manage that indirectly.
Yeah, the supply of oxygen to the heart.
Yeah.
Amazing. So this is okay. What are the? I mean, this is the moral of the basic idea of the ice baths is to have that comfort zone pushed further away. What are the other health benefits to the ice bath?
So the ice bath, I think, has here in the Middle East, the first one who did ice baths were the horses. You know, the endurance horses.
Wow.
In the desert. I don't know if you've ever seen an endurance race.
Yeah.
But when they arrive, after the loop, they check their heartbeat, and they put ice buckets on them. That's one thing. And also for them to recover, I think they were the first ones to have ice baths here. So they walk the horse through very cold water to recover from the extreme runs and injuries and all that. On the human being side, I used to be a tennis player. I think Djokovic was the first one about 15 years ago to use ice baths for faster recovery. It's typically done in sports where you have to perform within the next 3 days at the highest level. So when you're in a Grand Slam and you play a 5-set, can last 3 to 5 hours.
Yeah.
You have 1 day to recover and the next day you play.
Yes.
So you have only like about 40 hours to recover, which is not enough.
Yes.
Typically.
Yes.
If you do a normal workout, 2 days is okay.
Yeah.
But when you go to at the highest level for 3, 4, 5 hours, it's not enough. So he was the first one, as far as I know, he was the first one to use ice baths. Rugby players, they get injured a lot. So for recovery, the NBA in the US, they also, I think they play 2 matches a week during the season. So they need to recover fast. They are big bodies. When they fall on each other, big bruises and all that. So for recovery. That's for the physical side, for the recovery. The colder, the better. Then you have the mental side. Okay. Which is anxiety. If you go into ice with anxiety, with depression, it's amazing actually. You see the people after 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and you talk to them, and they go from this, and they become self-confident, and how are you? I feel great. They become a different person within 3, 4, 5 minutes.
While they're in the ice.
Yeah, and when they come out, you see them jumping around.
Is it, do you think, because of they have broken something, some fear in them, and they feel more confident that they have done something that other people fear of doing, including themselves? Like crossing this massive wall that they have built for themselves, and that's where the comfort is coming from?
Yeah, anxiety is self-inflicted.
Yeah.
I cannot give you anxiety.
Yeah.
Unless I have a gun in front of you, maybe. But that's scaring. It's not anxiety,
Yeah.
It's something self-developed. You're not born with anxiety.
Yeah.
That's the very mental side and the very physical side, and then you have that combination. Typically, people very few cases are born with asthma, for example, or psoriasis. It is a link of physical and mental disorder. So you can maybe bad pollution around you, or a lot of pollen, together with bad nutrition, no exercise, stress, puberty, hormonal changes, and suddenly you have hay fever, or you have asthma with genetically modified food, whatever. But it's typically a combination of a few things, and you're not born with it. Okay? So what the ice does, it resets brutally. So that I compare it like when you have a computer and then everything is frozen, your mouse doesn't move. The only thing you can do is press the reset button.
Yeah.
And we don't know why afterward it works, but it does work. The computer guys, they say just press the reset button,
restarts everything,
and then everything comes back. The mouse works, the programs work again.
True.
That's what the ice does.
Yeah.
So those are I call it the asthma, in my opinion, is a mix of physical and mental state.
Yeah.
I remember a guy, he used an inhaler for asthma every day, and he came a Saturday, 3 Saturdays in a row, and did 2 ice baths, like 3-4 minutes twice, and never used the inhaler again.
Yeah.
And listen, if he's back on the inhaler, he knows he could come back and do it again. If somebody diminishes the asthma by 50% or the anxiety by 50%,
it's a big improvement. Yeah.
It's an improvement.
Yes.
And you can't hurt yourself.
I have a question. What is the extreme lowest temperature that people have experienced? How further can you push with this ice bath? You started, for me, for example, tomorrow we're going to start around 1 or 0.
Yeah.
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah.
but what is the extreme, and how long can a person sustain into this temperature?
How long you can sustain the world record? I think it stands at like 2 hours 35 minutes from a Danish guy.
In which temperature?
In ice, which is around 0 degrees.
Okay.
Wim Hof is the first guy who showed that you can stay there well beyond the 12-15 minutes, which are supposed to be lethal.
Okay.
If you don't know how to meditate, you don't know how to control your body temperature and all that, they say around 15 minutes can be lethal. So he pushed it around 2 hours.
Wow.
This Wim Hof guy.
Yeah.
He's also the guy who ran a marathon barefoot on Antarctic. I think he lost the feeling of 2 toes. The guy is amazing. But he shows that our limitations are not where they are, you know. Yeah. And there is as a friend of mine here in Dubai, he has beaten Wim Hof's record, and maybe soon we will see a new world record here in Dubai.
Wow.
Of a person, so passing the 235. Don't do that, okay? So the health benefits, they are around 8-9 minutes.
Okay.
All right. Andrew Huberman, I don't know if you follow Huberman Lab.
Yes.
He says that around 11 minutes per week in cold, being cold shower, ice baths, in a lake, swimming in a lake, around 11 minutes per week in more than once, so in a minimum 2 times.
Yeah.
That's the perfect thing to be healthy. Yeah. You have the guys of Joe Rogan types. They have a freezer at home and they go like 2 minutes every day.
Yeah.
That's the thing you have to do. It's not about staying there where if you stay over 10 minutes, the benefits actually become negative. Yeah. So we have a lot of people, I want to stay longer. I say, why do you want to stay longer? You do it to break a record, or you come here for health benefits. Yeah. So sometimes we need to take people back. In the gym is the same. The people.
True. They tend to overtrain. Yes.
Yeah, and then they hurt themselves, and they're out of the
course.
gym for 6 months for recovery and all that. So we do the same. Yes. We say,
limit.
Listen, it's the first time you do it. Listen to your body. See how you feel. Come back, you know, like adjust.
Yes. It's not a race. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I wanted to ask you about, I used to do this, take a morning shower. I enjoy like a warm to hot shower. And then at the end, not in Dubai,
it's not
especially
cold.
in hot, but during the winter when there's cold water, I immediately switch it to the cold water straight away. And for 1 to 2 minutes, stay under the shower for cold water. Early morning, just when I want to leave. And I realized that this technique is way much better than drinking coffee to wake me up. I'm entirely awake. My nervous system is fully prepared to go and like full focus, full energetic. Is this something that you can explain? Why? I used to do it, I mean, just for fun, but then I realized, wow, this is working with me, so let me do it more. But is there any explanation to it?
Well, it increases your metabolism, okay? Because you get cold, the arteries close, so you get cold, and your body wants to get warm, so he starts working, he wakes up, right? Yes. So, yes, cold wakes you up and energizes you. You also create a little bit of dopamine, you know, makes you happy. Coffee creates dopamine.
Yes.
There's a lot of research that coffee is not bad if it's in a certain amount, not exaggerated. But that is like on the protocol of all the research now. What is important to do is good sleep. It's the most important thing for the recovery. It's the sunlight in the morning. It's breathing, it's cold exposure in one way or another. Yeah. So if I had access to cold water in my house, I would take cold shower every day. But
every day.
My cold is really warm now.
Yeah, I know. It is very hot, actually, hotter than the hot.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Is there any certain time during the day that you recommend better than any other time, like morning time, afternoon, or evening for the cold ice bath?
So that's a very good question. There are many answers to that question. Some people, they go to the gym in the morning.
Yes.
Some people go in at lunch, and some people go in the evening. It's a type of, and how you feel and where it fits in your journey.
Schedule, yeah.
If I go to the gym in the evening, I find it hard to sleep.
Absolutely.
I'm too excited. But other people say, I need that to go to sleep.
Yes.
So I think it depends on what you're used to it. It's a little bit the same with the ice. The thing with the ice is it increases your dopamine. If you do 4 or 5 minutes in the ice, your dopamine goes to about 250%, which is the same than cocaine.
Oh.
So I don't take cocaine, but I see people who have taken cocaine. They want to do anything else than sleep. So if you do extended ice baths in the evening, you might find it difficult to sleep. Okay?
Interesting. Actually, this was my second question because I heard about this effect of ice bath similar to the effect of cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to understand this. Can
So-
we dive into it more?
So the everybody has a dopamine base, a base level, and then depending on what you do, you can have like a sweet or a coffee, a cigarette. The dopamine changes, and when it goes up, it feels good. When it goes down, it doesn't feel so good. And if it goes up very quickly, it feels amazing. But when it crashes, it feels horrible. So if you have heard something about this comparison of ice baths and cocaine, the cocaine goes as fast up, maybe even faster than the ice bath, it instantly, while the ice bath takes like 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes, and then, but it stays for 6 hours, and it goes. So you don't, in the cocaine you have the crash, and then you apparently need more to overcome that. So that's the addiction, when the addiction kicks in. But I think coffee makes it like 20-30%. I think sex is around 50-100%. And then there is long nothing. And then there's cocaine with 250 and ice bath.
Wow.
It's quite powerful. So I recommend, and if you listen to the people who do ice baths, like those Joe Rogan or Huberman, they all do it in the morning. That's instead of their coffee, or in addition of the coffee.
Yes.
It's something they do in the morning to start their day.
Amazing.
And have a 5-6 hours of clarity and
Focus. I miss those days. I can't wait for winter, and I don't know how to find. Probably I'll have to fix a cooler in that shower.
Yeah.
But yes, this is very interesting. Yeah, so the purpose of us doing it tomorrow morning is probably this. So I'll enjoy 6 hours of.
You should feel quite good for the rest of the day, or most of the day, and then you start feeling tired in the afternoon. Maybe you need a nap.
A nap, yeah.
So when we do ice baths in the evening, which we also do, we add sauna to it. So the sauna and the ice
Works the opposite.
it makes you super tired.
Yeah.
And people know who go to the sauna, and if they do a few rounds of sauna, they go home, they fall asleep very quickly.
Take me through the steps of where the dips and in and out, in and out. Is there any benefit to having it have it done like in and out, in and out?
It's a more advanced procedure. When you go in the ice and you stay there for 4 or 5 minutes, you get like a little layer of protective water around you. So your body is cold, and there's like temperature water, which is about your body temperature, and then the ice comes. But if you don't move, you start feeling pretty relaxed.
Okay.
If I move the ice, you will see tomorrow, we can check that. You see, wow, this is much colder than if I don't move.
Yeah.
So if you stay in there for a while, after a while you don't feel anything. So the more advanced is, you go 1 minute, you go out 1 minute, so the blood comes back into your extremities. Then you go back 1 minute, you get 1 out minute. You can do that 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay.
And it's finished.
Amazing.
that's worse than 12 minutes straight.
Yeah, amazing. I'm very much interested and excited to see what's going to happen tomorrow. Although we're going to link the clips of tomorrow with this video to have like some
That
nice
will be
effects.
fun.
It will be very fun. Yeah, as we're talking, we'll see the effects. But I think I know how to control to a certain extent. But as you said, probably it's because I know how I am calm. I am really calm. Yeah. Although there's a thunder and storm inside me, and I know how to control that throughout the time. But I was not that calm. But yeah, this is something that probably I can manage tomorrow. Let's see how it goes. I'm very much excited.
Great.
Great. Thank you very much, Benoit.
Thank you. Thank you.